Imagine this for a moment. You get into bed, you close your eyes, and your body is supposed to shift into repair mode. Your blood pressure is meant to settle. Your heart is meant to slow down. Your breathing is meant to become deep and calm. Your circulation is meant to relax. Inside your body, the nightly housekeeping begins. Damaged cells are cleared away. Stress signals soften. The cardiovascular system, which has worked hard all day, finally gets a chance to recover. But then you do one small thing before bed. And that one small thing can send the opposite message. It can tell your brain to stay alert. It can tell your nervous system that the day is not over. It can make your heart work harder than it should at the very time it needs rest. It can interfere with sleep quality, raise stress hormones, and quietly chip away at the health of your blood vessels over time. That is why tonight, I want to talk about something simple, something ordinary, and something far too many people ignore. Stop doing this before bed. Not because it sounds dramatic, not because it is a trendy wellness warning, but because your heart is listening to everything you do at night, and it remembers. We often think of heart health as something that depends only on what we eat at lunch, whether we exercise in the morning, or whether we take our medicine on time. Those things matter, of course, a lot. But what many people never realize is that the hours before sleep are also a powerful window for cardiovascular health. The choices you make in that last hour of the day can either support your body's repair systems or keep them from doing their job. And the problem is that the most common bedtime habits look harmless. A few bites of food, a glass of wine, a late night snack, a few minutes of scrolling, one last email, one more episode, a little bit of work, a stressful conversation replayed in your mind, maybe even a quick check of your messages because you think it will help you feel connected. But your body does not experience these things as harmless. Your body experiences them as signals. If you eat a heavy meal too close to bedtime, your digestive system stays active when it should be winding down. That can shift blood flow toward the gut instead of allowing the body to settle into deep restoration. If you drink alcohol before bed, it may make you feel relaxed for a short time, but it can fragment sleep later in the night and increase the chances that your heart and nervous system never fully downshift. If you stare at a bright screen, especially in a dark room, you are essentially telling your brain that it is still daytime. If you go to bed emotionally activated, with stress still racing through your system, your heart rate and blood pressure may remain elevated long after the lights go out. The heart is not only a pump, it is a living organ that responds to chemistry, rhythm, and rest. It is influenced by your hormones, your stress level, your breathing, your sleep quality, and your daily patterns. Nighttime is not a pause button, it is an active maintenance period. And when you keep interrupting that maintenance period, the damage is not always immediate. That is what makes it dangerous. You may not notice anything tonight. You may not notice anything next week. But over months and years, the cost builds quietly. Let me explain this in a way that matters for real life. Your heart and blood vessels spend the day adapting to movement, meals, stress, temperature, and mental activity. At night, they are supposed to recover from that strain. Blood pressure normally falls during healthy sleep. Heart rate slows. The body shifts into a calmer, more parasympathetic state. This is the time when the cardiovascular system gets a much-needed break. If that pattern is disturbed repeatedly, the body starts to lose the benefit of the nightly reset. That means your evening routine is not just about getting comfortable. It is about creating the biological conditions for repair. Now, let's talk about the habit that may be doing the most harm. For many people, it is eating too close to bed. I know how common this is. Dinner runs late. The day feels long. Maybe you miss a meal earlier. Maybe you are genuinely hungry at night. Maybe you have developed the habit of snacking while watching television. Maybe the only quiet moment you get all day is after everyone else has gone to bed, so that is when you finally eat. But a late, heavy meal can be a problem for the heart for several reasons. First, digestion is work. When you eat, your body has to allocate resources to process that food. That means more activity in the digestive tract at a time when your body should be shifting toward rest. Second, some late-night meals are not just large. They are often high in sugar, salt, refined starches, and unhealthy fats. Those ingredients can make blood sugar more unstable and can put extra strain on blood vessels. Third, lying down too soon after eating can increase discomfort, acid reflux, and poor sleep quality, all of which can create a domino effect that harms recovery. And sleep quality matters far more than many people realize. Poor sleep is not just about feeling tired the next morning. It is linked to higher stress hormones, worse blood sugar control, more inflammation, greater appetite the next day, and a greater burden on the cardiovascular system. If you sleep badly tonight, you may wake up with more cravings, less energy, and a body that is already under stress before the day begins. Repeat that pattern often enough, and your heart pays the price. Now, if you think the solution is just to eat less, that is not quite right. The real solution is to eat in a way that respects your body's natural clock. Your body is designed to follow a rhythm. It expects activity during the day and restoration at night. When you eat in sync with that rhythm, your metabolism tends to behave more predictably. When you eat heavy meals late at night, you confuse that rhythm. The body must divide its attention between digestion and recovery loses. This is why a simple rule can make such a difference. Finish your last substantial meal several hours before bed whenever possible. That does not mean everyone must be perfect. Life is not perfect. But as a general pattern, giving your body a longer window between dinner and sleep is one of the easiest ways to support better rest and a healthier heart. Now let's move to another bedtime habit that looks harmless but can quietly work against you. Alcohol before bed. A lot of people believe alcohol helps them sleep. In one sense, it may seem true. It can make you drowsy, it can make you feel looser and calmer, it can help you fall asleep faster in the short term. But sleep is not the same thing as recovery, and alcohol may reduce the quality of the sleep you get after you fall asleep. That means you may be unconscious, but not truly restored. Alcohol can alter sleep architecture. It can reduce the amount of deep, restorative sleep your body gets. It can also lead to more awakenings later in the night. That broken pattern is not ideal for the heart because your cardiovascular system benefits from stable, uninterrupted rest. Alcohol can also contribute to dehydration, which is another stressor on the body. And in some people, it may worsen snoring or breathing issues during sleep, which can further strain the heart. The key point here is not fear. The key point is understanding. People often think, I only had one drink, so it is fine. Maybe, but fine is not always the same as optimal, and when your goal is heart health, small choices matter. One drink may not cause dramatic harm in one night, but if it becomes a nightly habit, especially close to bedtime, it can become a quiet burden on sleep and cardiovascular recovery. There is another evening habit that deserves attention: stress. Stress does not magically disappear because the clock says it is bedtime. In fact, for many people, stress becomes louder at night. The day gets quiet and the mind gets noisy. You start thinking about unfinished work, family worries, money, health, responsibilities, arguments, regrets, deadlines, and fears. Your body interprets these thoughts as real signals of threat. Your heart rate may rise, your breathing may become shallow, muscle tension may increase. Your nervous system may stay in a state of readiness, and that state is not compatible with good sleep. This is why the last hour before bed should not be a battlefield. It should be a transition from doing to being, from reacting to recovering, from noise to quiet, from urgency to safety. The heart responds beautifully to safety. When the body feels safe, heart rate slows, blood pressure can ease, breathing deepens. The vagus nerve, which helps regulate calm and digestion, can do its work more effectively. That is why simple calming rituals can matter more than people think. A warm shower, dim lights, gentle stretching, slow breathing, reading something peaceful, writing down tomorrow's tasks so your mind does not have to hold them. These are not soft, meaningless habits. These are biological signals of safety. Now let's talk about the screen in your hand. This one is very difficult because it is so normal. You tell yourself you will look for just a minute, but 1 minute becomes 20. 20 becomes 45. Suddenly, you are still awake, your brain is processing information, your eyes are exposed to light, and your nervous system is more alert than it should be. Some content is emotionally activating. Some is work-related. Some is exciting. Some is stressful. Some is simply endless. The problem is not just the light. The problem is the mental stimulation. Your brain cannot easily move from constant input to deep sleep without a bridge. If the last thing you do before bed is scroll through social media, watch a tense video, answer messages, or check a flood of information, your brain may remain partially in the day. That makes it harder to fall asleep, and it can reduce the depth of the sleep that follows. Less deep sleep means poorer recovery. Poorer recovery means more strain on the body. And the heart, which depends on regular restoration, feels that strain. There's a reason so many people wake up tired even after enough hours in bed. Hours in bed are not the same as quality sleep. And quality sleep is what your heart truly needs. Now let me say something important. This is not about making people afraid of modern life. It is not about turning bedtime into a list of rules so strict that you feel guilty for being human. It is about understanding that your body is designed for rhythm. When you respect that rhythm, you make healing easier. When you fight that rhythm every night, you create invisible stress that adds up. Let us think about what your heart actually wants at night. It wants steadiness. It wants a slow, predictable pace. It wants reduced stimulation. It wants a calm nervous system. It wants a body that is not overloaded with food, not flooded with alcohol, not hijacked by bright light, and not kept awake by stress. It wants the chance to lower blood pressure and settle into recovery mode. It wants the repair signals that come with deep sleep. And your blood vessels want the same thing. Healthy blood vessels are flexible. They respond well to changes in blood flow. They are not constantly under pressure. But if the evening becomes a time of repeated stress, the vessels are not given enough opportunity to relax. Over time, that can contribute to a less healthy cardiovascular environment. This is one reason sleep is not just a lifestyle luxury. It is a cardiovascular necessity. Now, maybe you are thinking, I already have a heart condition, or I already take medicine, or I am older, or I have had years of bad habits, so what difference can tonight make? The answer is a lot. The body is always responding to what you do next. That is the encouraging truth. You do not need a perfect past to begin improving your future. The heart responds to patterns, and patterns can change. Even small improvements in bedtime habits can help. Maybe tonight you eat a little earlier. Maybe you choose water instead of alcohol. Maybe you put your phone away for the last 30 minutes before sleep. Maybe you dim the lights. Maybe you sit quietly and breathe instead of chasing one more task. These are not tiny acts. They are messages to your body that say, it is safe to recover now. And when you do that night after night, your body begins to trust the routine. Consistency is powerful. The cardiovascular system loves regularity. It loves repeated signals. It loves predictable rest. It loves a stable sleep schedule. It loves a calmer evening environment. These things help synchronize the internal clocks that regulate hormones, metabolism, and repair processes. Now let's go deeper into why bedtime behavior matters so much for heart health. During sleep, the body is not idle. It is regulating inflammatory processes, adjusting hormone levels, restoring energy systems, and supporting the health of the lining of blood vessels. Your blood vessels are not passive pipes. They are active tissues that help control circulation, pressure, and inflammation. If sleep is repeatedly disrupted, the internal environment can shift in less favorable ways. That can mean more inflammation, poorer blood pressure control, worse appetite regulation, and more stress on the heart. You do not need to remember every biochemical pathway to understand the practical message. Poor bedtime habits can lead to poor sleep. Poor sleep can lead to a stressed cardiovascular system. A stressed cardiovascular system over time can lead to bigger problems. That is the chain. And the chain often begins with something people dismiss as just tonight. So what should you do instead? First, choose a regular cutoff time for food. You do not need to be extreme, but your body will thank you for giving it enough time to digest before sleep. If you are genuinely hungry, choose something light and simple rather than a heavy, high-sugar, high-fat snack. Second, reduce alcohol at night, especially if you notice that your sleep quality suffers. Notice how you actually feel the next morning, not just how fast you fell asleep. Third, create a screen boundary. Put the phone away. Stop checking messages. Stop chasing information. Give your brain a chance to close the day. Fourth, make your room dark, cool, and quiet. These simple environmental cues support healthy sleep biology. Fifth, lower emotional intensity before bed. Do not end the day in a fight. Do not end the day in a panic. Do not end the day by feeding your stress. Bring the volume down gradually. Sixth, build a small ritual that you repeat every night. It could be breathing, prayer, reading, light stretching, journaling, or simply sitting in silence. The ritual itself is less important than the message it sends. The day is ending and the body can rest. This kind of routine may seem ordinary, but ordinary things repeated consistently are what change health. Now, let me speak directly to those who think they are too busy for this. If you are busy, you need this even more. Busy people often live in a state of constant activation. They work late, they eat late, they worry late, they bring their phone to bed. They think they are being productive, but their body is paying a tax. The tax is sleep debt, stress burden, and cardiovascular strain. And one of the most deceptive things about burnout is that it can feel normal until it is not. You get used to the fatigue. You get used to the tight chest when you are stressed. You get used to waking up unrefreshed. You get used to needing caffeine to make it through the morning. You get used to poor recovery. But getting used to it does not mean your body is okay with it. Your body keeps the score in the background. That is why I want you to think of bedtime as a medical opportunity, not just a personal habit. This is a chance to lower risk without a prescription, a chance to support your heart while you sleep, a chance to turn the last hour of the day into a healing hour. If you do that, you are not being overly careful. You are being intelligent. Now, I want to add one more important layer. Heart health is not only about avoiding the wrong things before bed, it is also about noticing the signals your body sends you. If you regularly have trouble falling asleep, wake up choking or gasping, feel your heart racing at night, wake with headaches, get up multiple times, or feel exhausted despite adequate time in bed, those can be signs that something deeper is going on. It could be stress. It could be a sleep issue. It could be an eating pattern. It could be alcohol. It could be medication. It could be a breathing problem during sleep. It could be more than one thing. The point is not to self-diagnose from a video. The point is to pay attention. Because nighttime symptoms matter. People often focus on daytime health and ignore the night, but the night reveals what the day is doing to the body. If sleep is broken, the heart may be asking for help. So do not just ask, did I get enough hours? Ask, did I create the kind of evening that allows my heart to recover? That question alone can change your life. Let me end with this. The heart is patient, but it is not silent. It responds to what you repeat. It responds to the foods you eat, the drinks you choose, the light you expose yourself to, the stress you carry, and the moments you give it to rest. Before bed is one of the most powerful times to either support that heart or strain it. And the changes do not have to be complicated. Stop treating bedtime like the leftover part of the day. It is not leftover. It is essential. Stop stuffing the night with stimulation. Your body needs recovery more than distraction. Stop feeding your nerves when they need calm. Your heart does not benefit from a second day at midnight. Start treating sleep as part of your heart health plan. Start making the evening quieter, lighter, and more restorative. Start giving your body the signal that the work is done, the danger is over, and healing can begin. Because when you protect the hours before bed, you are not just helping yourself sleep better, you are helping your heart live better. And that is a habit worth keeping.